श्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत नः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामविद्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्।
Arjun, look at the empire you have built.
It all started with that night, that train.
Don't wait for the world to change. Become the reason it did.
Tonight, we bring you the story of an Indian industrialist whose engineering vision is helping power railway systems across the world. At the center of this story is Sri Narayan Sethuramon, Managing Director of SANMAR Engineering Technologies and SANMAR Matrix Metals, part of the SANMAR Group. Under his leadership, the group's global steel casting business operates across India, the United States, and Mexico, supplying critical engineering components to industries worldwide. Over a distinguished career, Sri Sethuramon has led organizations across sectors, including electrical equipment, automotive components, and global manufacturing. Contributing to some of India's most respected engineering enterprises, today, because of men like Sri Sethuramon, Indian-made steel castings travel across continents, powering projects worldwide. A reminder that sometimes a single vision can move the world. A founding member of CII Young Indians, Sri Sethuramon has spent decades shaping the next generation of India's leaders, having served as its chairman between the years 2006 to 2007. He has served as co-chairman of the CII Trade Policy Council, co-chairman of the CII International Council, and former chairman of the CII Tamil Nadu State Council. From Union Budget 2026 to Indian EU trade frameworks, from Latin America to the United States, from green manufacturing to inclusive growth, Sri Sethuramon has been shaping the conversations that will define India's future.
He showed me what it looks like when one person decides to matter.
His life follows Swami's way. To be, to do, to see, to tell. Not as words, but as a way of living. Who he became shaped what he did. What he did changed how he saw. And what he saw became the story his life now tells.
అందువల్ల ఉన్నది ఒకే లైట్ అయినప్పటికీ ఆ రంధ్రముల ద్వారా బయటికి అనేక లైట్లు ఉండేట్టు కనిపిస్తుండాలి. దానిపైన దట్టమైనటువంటి ఒక వస్త్రమును కప్పినాము కనుకనే అందులో నుంచి ఏ మాత్రం కూడా మనకు లైట్ కనిపించడం లేదు. కనుక మొట్టమొదటి ఈ దట్టమైనటువంటి యొక్క సర్కిట్ అవాల్ తీసి పక్కన పెట్టమంటే అప్పుడు అనేక జ్యోతులుగా కనిపిస్తుంది. ఆ యొక్క అనేకంగా కనిపించేటువంటి ఆ పాత్రను మనం పగలగొట్టిందంటే ఒక్క జ్యోతిగానే మనకు కనిపిస్తుంది. అదే ఏక జ్యోతి, అదే ఆత్మజ్యోతి. ఉన్నది ఒక్కటే. దానిపైన నవరంధ్రములతో కూడినటువంటి యొక్క ఈ దేహం అనే పాత్రను కప్పినాము కనుక ఇవి అనేక విధంగా కనిపిస్తుంటాయి. ఒక్కొక్క రంధ్రం నుంచి ఒక్కొక్క లైట్ ఉండినట్టుగా కనిపిస్తుండాలి. అనేక జ్యోతులు లేవు అక్కడ. దేర్ ఆర్ నో డిఫరెంట్ లైట్స్. ఒక్క జ్యోతి, కానీ దేహం యొక్క రంధ్రముల ద్వారా ఇవి అనేక జ్యోతులుగా కనిపిస్తున్నాయి. పైన మమత్వము అనేటువంటి దట్టమైన వస్త్రాన్ని కప్పిపెట్టారు.
Shri Sairam, offering my humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of our Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba. I'm Sai Priyanka Atmanathan from the state of Karnataka South and a current batch student of the Shri Satya Sai leadership through self-transformation. Today, in episode 2 of Satsangatve Nissangatvam, titled ANTARJYOTI, Awakening the Flame Within, we have the privilege of being joined by Shri Narayan Sethuramon as we just witnessed through that lively AV. सर सनमार ग्रुप का हिस्सा हैं और मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर के रूप में भारत और अमेरिका में ग्रुप के कास्टिंग बिजनेस का नेतृत्व करते हैं. With over 3 decades of leadership experience, he has held several senior roles in the engineering and manufacturing sector, including serving as President and CEO of McLean Asia Pacific and as Managing Director and CEO of WS Industries India Limited. He has also served on the boards of multiple companies and actively engages with industry bodies such as the Confederation of Indian Industry, contributing to conversations around India's manufacturing and export landscape. इन सभी प्रोफेशनल उपलब्धियों के साथ साथ आज का ये सेशन और भी विशेष बन जाता है बिकॉज ऑफ हिज डीप एंड पर्सनल कनेक्शन विद स्वामी. सर एक ऐसे परिवार से आते हैं जहां 3 पीढ़ियां स्वामी के प्रति समर्पित रहे हैं. And he has been blessed with the grace of experiencing Swami's love and guidance in person. His father, the late Shri V. Srinivasan, served as a member of the Shri Satya Sai Central Trust and as All India President, while his mother, the late Srimati Vidya Srinivasan, served as India's National Bal Vikas Coordinator. Dear brothers and sisters, without further ado, please join me in warmly welcoming Shri Narayan Sethuramon as he leads us to awaken our Antarjyoti by sharing his experiences.
Sairam,
Sairam.
My humble pranams, first of all, at the lotus feet of our beloved Lord and Master. Dear brothers and sisters, loving Sairam to all of you. I hope I'm clearly audible.
Yes, sir, you are.
Okay, great. Thank you for that introduction, and it's a privilege to be invited to speak at this session of Satsangatve Nissangatvam, and I thank Brother Gopi for inviting me. I firmly believe that it's Swami's will, Sankalpa and grace which has given me this opportunity to share my thoughts and experiences with all of you. Equally, I will say that the human being in me enjoys meeting and interacting with the younger members of the Sai movement in any capacity that you are here, whether as a current participant, a devotee, curiosity, whatever it is, because you are the future. At the outset, let me start by saying that if one normally goes to a satsang, there are some special qualifications that one has to be invited to speak there. And I am here purely, first and foremost, as a Sai devotee. Whatever we have done in corporate life, and I will share some of it over the next 45 minutes or so. But fundamentally, all of this has become possible because of Swami's grace, Swami's blessings, and his love more than anything else. What I can say bring to the table is a combination of 5 decades of having been a Sai devotee, which I'm extremely privileged to have been, during which I've had the blessings of our beloved Lord to be in his immediate divine presence, to be guided by him at different points in time at my life, to be the recipient of his enormous divine love, be admonished by him when I needed to be admonished, and more. Most importantly, to be shown a sense of purpose and to be guided. Today when you talk to any business consultant, they will ask you what is your individual purpose, what is your organizational purpose, and that is fundamentally what you're questioned about. I think we've had the Lord right here with us for many years and who continues to show us what our sense of purpose is. So, sisters and brothers, we are blessed. We don't need any management consultants here. I think we have the Divine Master itself, whose path we follow. It more than shows us our sense of purpose. Within my corporate organizations, I always advise people to keep management and life simple, and take the 2 or 3 biggest objectives from a point of view of impact and focus razor sharp on those. So I was thinking about today's theme, which is ANTARJYOTI, awakening the flame within. And I would say that when we awaken the flame within, we should awaken it with a sense of purpose and a clear objective. As I've gone through so many years of life and having been a devotee, today, if I was looking at, if I were to awaken this flame within, what would be the single most important objective? And the answer came instantaneously, which said that follow the path of Swami, his teachings, his mission, his values, whatever he has imparted. Most importantly, recognize that and remember that we are but an instrument, a blade of grass or whatever in his hands. We have his grace, but we have a job to do. We need to make ourselves worthy of his grace. It's not a one-sided effect saying that, oh, I have Swami's grace. We should, say that we have a greater sense of responsibility to make ourselves worthy of his grace and call ourselves Sai devotees. I also want to highlight, and all of you are in either starting your careers or in careers, etc., that being a perfect Sai devotee and doing very well in your professional career or in corporate life or whatever be your profession, they are not in conflict. They're in fact part and parcel of each other. They are all part of the Sai way. And the Sai way is Swami always wanted us to be perfectionists in everything that we take up. I will say that if one had the luxury of, on the last day of our life on earth, if we should be able to look within us and say that I have been true to Swami, I have lived my life as per Swami's teachings, played my part in the Sai mission, and importantly, played your part the way Swami wanted you to, not the way you would like to. I think that they don't both always need not be the same. Swami has a plan and a role for every one of us. So that, brothers and sisters, we have fulfilled the purpose for which Sai Mas brought us to earth. I'm going to break up my talk into 4 parts. Brother Gopi suggested that, all of you would be interested a little bit in knowing my association with Swami. So I'm going to spend a few minutes and talking about some 3-4 significant experiences in my life with Swami. I will also talk about then the second part, which is the lessons learned from Swami and my views on how we should lead our professional and personal lives, our duties as a Sai devotee, and our role in propagating the Sai mission. I also want to emphasize on a couple of takeaways from the recent centenary celebrations that were held in Parthi, and finally happy to take any questions that you may have. So if I start with the first part, the easy part here was that I was born into a Sai family. I'm the third generation to be a Sai devotee, and it so happened that my parents sort of became Sai devotees. Although my grandfather or my grandparents were Sai devotees, my parents became Sai devotees just around the time that I was born, and so I've always been a Sai devotee since. And all of us, we have two siblings, so all of us grew up accepting Swami as God incarnate on earth. And it's also important here to realize that and remember that if God behaves as God on earth all the time, we cannot go near him. So it is important that we recognize that, God likes to behave like a human on earth, and therefore it's important that we recognize this and we enjoy it. It's most importantly, we also have to recognize that I'm just going to share my screen here to show you a few pictures. So bear with me for a minute and let me know when it's up. Has it come up?
Yes, sir, we can see it.
Yeah. Let me try putting it. Okay. So it's, we have to recognize that Swami showers a lot of love and affection. We were blessed with Swami's love. Swami used to come to Chennai every year in January, and we were blessed that he would always come home for a meal since the early 70s. And this is a picture of Swami in his puja room with us. That small kid there is me, and my first experience of Swami is a very unique experience, and it's around the age of 4 or so. There was a car journey from Chennai to Bangalore. So in the car where Radhakrishnan, who used to drive Swami's car those days, in the front seat was my father. In the rear seat to the left was my brother. I was sitting in the middle and Swami was sitting on the right. And I was probably 4 or 5 years old. I don't know. And guess what I did? I promptly fell on Swami's lap and went to sleep. And if my father was so upset that he said, wake him up immediately. He told my brother, and this is where the Divine Father comes in. He says, don't you dare wake him up. And so my first experience of Swami was I peacefully slept on his lap from Chennai to most of Bangalore. And Swami refused to allow anybody to disturb me or wake me up. So, that was the first experience that I had, and I was fortunate to have. These are some pictures from home in the 70s of Swami coming home and having a meal. My first experience of Swami's divinity was at the age of 7, or actually it was 6, when I was struck with a mysterious fever for about a month. And this was, I remember, in the month of April, and I was tested for all the diseases under the sun, whether it was started with typhoid, tuberculosis, you name it, everything came negative, but the fever didn't go away. And lo and behold, those days we didn't have mobile phones, STDs were very difficult. The telephone, you had to book it, everything. And the telegram was the most common way of communication. And I still remember one day a telegram arrives from Prashanthi Nilayam saying, all in caps, all it said is, don't worry about son. He will be all right. He will be all right by Baba's grace. Love, Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. That was the telegram. So, that tells you Swami is there looking after all of us. it is his love, his grace, his uh, compassion, and I'll talk a lot about it as we go along. And the next major experience I would say was, and these are again some pictures of my youth with him, and was my Upanayanam. So there's a story to this also, that as in everything, we went to Puttaparthi actually to take Swami's blessings to do my Upanayanam. And Swami got so upset. He turned around and told my father, saying that he is my boy. How you can do his Upanayanam? Only I will do it. This Upanayanam will be done in Puttaparthi. All you need to do is you decide which of your relatives need to attend and you bring them. Everything else I'm taking care of. And so, the Upanayanam was done in Puttaparthi by Swami, and this was done at the Pedda Venkaparaju Kalyan Mandapa right outside, which even today exists. And you can see, I keep referring to Swami as a perfectionist. So, as all of you would know, the most important part of the Upanayanam is not actually the sacred thread, but actually it's the whispering of the Gayatri in the ear by the father. So Swami turned to my father and said that he is my son. I will whisper the Gayatri in his ear, but you can join me if you want. So, so that was how. So I had the privilege of having Swami teach me the Gayatri, and that was the second, I would say, or third significant experience of mine with Swami. The fourth, and these are again some pictures from the Upanayanam. Before I go to the fourth experience, since this picture is up, I will talk about, I mentioned that Swami is very interested in everybody's professional lives and the fact that they should do well in their professional lives. So this is a visit of Swami to the factory that my father and grandfather were running at that time. And you can see here that he just didn't visit the office. He actually walked through every bit of a dirty plant barefoot. And, because he was so interested in, what are the activities, what is the product process. And you can, many devotees will tell you that Swami, in the course of interviews, in the course of conversations, has advised them on their professional career path, advised them on major decisions, counseled them on major decisions that they were to take professionally. Swami was always very, very, very interested in the professional career of all devotees. And he would also, you can see here that he went through, he wanted to meet all the employees. He met the employees. He laid the foundation stone at that time for the canteen. And, so again, something that while Swami has blessed us, but it equally shows the fact that Swami wanted to, and has always been interested in how his devotees were doing professionally. The fourth experience I will talk about is Kodaikanal. And Kodaikanal is a mix of, I've labeled the slide as heaven on earth. And Kodaikanal was truly heaven on earth. The first few years we were blessed that Swami stayed at our small home that we had in Kodaikanal. And I want to talk about this from several aspects, because, just so that we put things in perspective, the cottage that you see behind Swami was a 100-year-old rickety 3-bedroom cottage, which we used to enjoy we used to go there as a summer holiday. The family would go there during the school vacation, and we would be there and we would come back. Now, one of those holidays, we were actually getting ready to leave, and to the last day of the holiday, and suddenly my father at that time was with Swami in Ooty. Those days, Swami used to go to Ooty very regularly, and he called up saying that Swami is coming to Kodaikanal tomorrow. And we said, okay. And we were shocked. And then we said, okay, where is he going to stay? And my father says that he's going to stay in our house. And that, we were totally shocked, because this is, like I said, it's a rickety 100-year-old cottage. There's just, I would even call it 2.5 bedrooms. And, the Lord himself was going to come and stay here. But I would, today when I think of it, I would also think of it, given that, I want to highlight a different aspect of it, that Swami always expected his devotees to think out of the box. He expected his devotees to have speed in action, and also total surrender and willingness to do whatever it takes. And the reason why I say each of these is because what we did is that overnight, so what we went round to neighbors saying, hey, can any of you give us 1 room, 2 rooms, etc. We are having a lot of people coming tomorrow. We can't accommodate everybody in our house. And which is normally something you wouldn't think of immediately. But now we had 24 hours to get this ready for the Divine Lord. And so my parents' room, we got it ready for Swami. And then the children's room, we got it ready from Colonel Jogarao, who used to go around with Swami in those days, and few his other guests. And we all shifted to the servants' quarters. So that's where I come to saying that we should be willing to do whatever it takes when the Lord gives you an opportunity also. And the next day when Swami came there, obviously all of us broke down and said, Swami, how could you come and stay in this house? And Swami only said that for me, my devotees are important. Material comforts are not. I still remember that he said it very, very, very clearly. And, so it was a completely, it was truly heaven on earth, because the initial years, we had Swami in such close physical proximity. We had Swami as the news of Swami coming every year spread, obviously the devotees more devotees started coming. But then there used to be a small room with a fireplace where Swami used to sit and talk to all of us. And Swami had a great sense of humor. And so one day, one night, evening, actually, like usually, he asked all of us to sing bhajans, and we all sang bhajans. And then the next day morning, he turned around to Colonel Jogarao and said that Srinivasan's family, everybody sings well, no? What will he say? He said, yes, Swami, everybody sings well. Then he had a very mischievous look on his face, and then said, even the doors sing well. So what had happened is, someone trying not to disturb him had opened the door wanting to slip out early in the morning, but the doors, they're 100 years and wooden, they creaked. So it is, so it is Swami with his excellent sense of humor. And the last experience, these are some pictures from Swami. You would see Swami in a very different state of mind. He was very relaxed. You can see he's posing on his car for a picture. These are some unique pictures that you wouldn't see of Swami in other places in the world. And you can see he would pose for pictures with everyone in the garden. And we talked about Swami being a perfectionist. You can see in this picture, the last day that he would leave, he would make sure that he would greet everybody who was involved in his trip before he left. You can see in this picture, the person below is the driver who used to drive one of the cars. To the right, you can see all the policemen who were on duty. Swami would greet everybody. It's not, nobody was, saying that he would do it personally himself before he leaves. And these are teachings, brothers and sisters, that we have to take away. That, the nothing first and foremost, when we talk about awakening the divine Jyoti, nothing is too small, nothing is too big in Swami's mission. Nothing is, and Swami is a perfectionist. He would deep dive into details. And you can see here that, he made it a point to thank everybody and greet everybody himself before he left Kodaikanal. And, this is the Lord himself doing it. So, some more pictures from Kodaikanal I'm going to, so Swami actually used to go on picnics. This is Swami actually inside a forest and singing bhajans in, Kodaikanal. So, I would stop here and, and really say that we are a privileged generation. We should now actually fulfill the responsibility to make our life his message. I'll move on to the last part, which I want to talk about before I move on to the second, which will lead into the second part of my talk. Is, in 1993, when I was going overseas to do my MBA, I went to take Swami's blessings, and in the interview room in Puttaparthi, and this ring that I'm wearing, it's about 33 years old now. It was given by Swami then. He looked at me very sternly, and I said that I will protect you through this ring, but I will also watch you through this ring. Don't do anything which is unbecoming of not only your parents, but unbecoming of me, because you're a Sai boy. And I used to joke that I think that after that kind of a warning, I think I was on the best ever behavior in my entire life that I was during the period I was in the United States. But the reason I say that incident today is because at the end of the day, brothers and sisters, all of us, many of you are starting your lives, many of you are in corporate lives for the last 5 to 10 years. All Swami wants is for us to lead our life with values, lead our lives the way he has guided us. If you really look at that sentence, saying that don't do anything which is unbecoming of me, what is he basically saying? He's basically saying that, follow my teachings, follow what I told you to do, and, be a true Sai devotee. So, with that, I will move to the second part of my talk. I think that was a few pictures from a larger presentation that I had put together on our family's experiences with Swami. When we talk of leadership today, and I know that there have been several talks on leadership, and I think Dr. Mohan has also referred to this book. But I think this is something that I would request every one of you to read. The Sai Baba's Mahavakya on leadership. It is truly, it's an excellent guide. It is something that all of you should definitely go into and read, and I would say read more than once. If you really look at what the book says, first and foremost, it says that a leader should be an enabler. And, it says that a good leader will always be available for his people. He or she should walk the talk. Individual character, organizational character, and national character are all very important. You could actually summarize a lot of what the book says into these 4 sentences. And what we should take from there additionally is, let's all of us at any point in time look at seeing how do we put Swami's expectations and Swami's guidance into action. I'd like to highlight a few more aspects of what we should be learning from what Swami has done for all of us. The first and foremost is scale. Look at Swami's projects. It is whether it's the water project, whether it's the super specialty hospitals, whether it's the university. Look at the scale at which Swami has executed. That is the kind of ambition that every one of you should have, but you should build towards it in a structured fashion. Second, whatever you are doing, focus on execution excellence. And when I say execution excellence, you should look at both speed, the seamless execution, and ultimately which leads to picture perfectness. The best example of this is today, if you look at, show me one organization in the world which can execute that hospital in 11 months. Impossible. I mean, today, somebody's putting up an apartment block, I think 4 floors next to my house, and I've been watching it come up for the last 1.5 years. And I was just thinking, and the more you think about it, and also when you talk to people who are involved with the execution of that super specialty of hospital and how it came up in 11 months. Yes, there is divinity involved. There's no doubt about it. There is Swami's grace involved. There's no doubt about it. But still, it also the demand. He was demanding, and as a leader, you have to be demanding. At the same time, you have to be an enabler. Somebody who was retiring when they were leaving told me something that I've never forgotten. And she said that what I liked about working for you was that I walked into your room with a problem and I would walk out with a solution. It's not about we always giving the solution. That is not good leadership. Good leadership is about enabling people to take decisions and at the same time backing them up if they're getting stuck. Both are important. So the third aspect that one should learn from Swami is deep dive into details. Swami used to go into the minutest details in all his projects. If you talk to the people whom he entrusted the responsibility to execute his projects, they will tell you that their reviews with Swami, he would exactly ask the one question that they had not bothered to check before going into the meeting with Swami. So, it is very important that deep diving into details. I know that nowadays, sometimes it is, including myself, times I complain that people have become slaves of Excel, or people have nowadays becoming slaves of ChatGPT or something. And it's good to use technology. It is important to know how to use technology, but equally it is important to know and you should be having all aspects of what you are responsible for on your fingertips. And going into the minutest details is extremely important. The fourth aspect is that in the Sai mission, no work is too high or no work is too low. And it is important as managers and as leaders that, you should never say that, oh, I'm a leader or I'm a manager. This will be done by my subordinate. You should be ready to roll up your sleeves and jump into the trenches when it is required. And also, sometimes you need to show how to walk the talk. And on both these instances, on both these occasions, in both these scenarios, it is very important that ego should never come into the way. It is very, very, and in all aspects of life, whether it's your personal life, whether it's your professional life, never, never let ego influence your decisions. I always advise the people in my office saying that when you're entering the office, set your ego aside and walk in. That is extremely important, and that will enable you to become a better manager, a better leader, a better collaborator, a better team player, a better executor, and a better project specialist at times. So in summary, I would highlight the following as very important for all of you to be successful. First and foremost is permeate your conduct, both professionally and personally. Good conduct. And these are really all what Swami has taught us as the Sai way. I'm not telling you anything new. Never let your credibility erode. Reputation is all important. It is, your reputation as someone that you can trust. Different parts of the world have different ways of doing business or different ways of relationships. Yes, in Asia, we give far more importance to relationships, but still, the trust is trust. And, it is very important that whoever you deal with is able to trust you. Third, ethics. When I interview people, I tell them very clearly that I cannot guarantee that you will enjoy your job or you'll be very successful at your job, etc. But one thing I can guarantee you is that you can sleep peacefully at night. It's very important that when you select organizations, when you select jobs, select ethical organizations. Today, it's very well known. Over a period of time, you will know what, who's ethical, who's, have different sets of values, etc. It's important that and today there are enough ethical organizations in whatever profession that you may be. You may be in medicine, you may be a chartered accountant, you may be an engineer, you may be a manager, you be an MBA, whatever it is. There are enough ethical organizations globally. It's important that you choose ethical organizations. Respect and safety. And when I say respect and safety, create a safe working environment in every form. It's not only in terms of physical form, but also mentally, emotionally. You must create a safe and respectful working environment that promotes honesty, which is whether it's your peers, whether it's your subordinates, whether it's your superiors, and an environment which promotes honesty is extremely important. If we look at some of Swami's metrics and what he used to, if I will look at like how we have KPIs and others and KRAs and everything else in organizations, Swami's metrics used to be intention, it used to be quality, it used to be execution, it used to be sacredness. What is the sacredness of the motive? And what is the purity of the mind of the person or of his devotee, his or who is performing that task, is what he used to look at. It's equally important that as we go through life, or as every one of you go through life, over a period of time, transformation needs to happen. It's very important that self-transformation, that self-awareness, the self-upliftment, all of those happen. It is very important that, when I say we should take steps to practice the Sai way, we have to put in those efforts. It is whether it is giving time to the Lord during the day in every small way. I mean, you could take 2 minutes off. I'm just being very practical here, that you take a couple of minutes off during the day at your workplace to pray to Swami. You could, it is there is a need to keep making a constant connect to the Lord, and we need to keep practicing the Sai way. It's not enough if we just keep saying that we are Swami's devotees. We need to practice it, whether it is professionally, whether it is personally. Yes, it will mean that there will be some sacrifices. You may not have all your Sundays off because you'll be busy doing seva, or but remember that you will be a better human being, and we owe it to Swami, who is taking care of us every second of the day, every minute of the day. He has blessed us. He has shown us the path. He is showing us the path. He is guiding us. We owe it to him. So these are some aspects that I would like to highlight. There are a couple of things which, I took away from the centenary celebrations, and I'm coming at that from a very external perspective. If you look at, I was very, I would say, impressed by, in the convocation, what Lokah, who's part of the Andhra government, mentioned in his speech. And, he mentioned a few points which I want to repeat as it is. I want to quote him verbatim because I think it's very important that every one of you on this call hear this out. And he said this: Swami's divine vision guides humanity today. In corporates, we want graduates with character, not just qualification. We want leaders with compassion, not just ambition. We want professionals with purpose, not just skills. We want intellectual sharpness, emotional balance, and spiritual grounding. This is what, brothers and sisters, if you look at the education that the Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning imparts, this is exactly what they impart to all the students who go through them, and even those who may not have studied there, but you become involved in the Sai organization, whether it's in education, whether it's in this seva, whether it's in the spiritual wing, all of this will come. So, in conclusion, what I would highlight is that in life today, we all know that we are in a very uncertain world. I think there's a lot of conflict going around all. Thus, even before this, right from post-COVID, the world has been an uncertain place. But what are we looking for? When I say we, I'm now putting myself in corporate shoes or in organizational shoes. What do we look for in young people who are joining our organization? We are looking for people with resilience. We are looking for people with perseverance. We are looking for that ability to operate in a VUCA world with agility. We are looking for leaders with empathy, and we look for people who can collaborate. Now, if I were to transpose that to what you learn in the Sai Institute of Higher Learning or in the Sai organization or in any of these programs, the agility, ability, it's not the multifaceted development takes place. When you're doing seva, it's not always straitjacketed. Challenges will come up. Sometimes, when you're organizing a national event or whatever it is, it's the ability to think, to be agile, think out of the box, and at this, most importantly, be resilient, persevere in seva, persevere. Swami taught us this message of love all, serve all. If you look at what the Prime Minister said during his speech on November 19th, what did he say? He said that Satya Sai Baba perfected the art of converting spirituality into social service and social upliftment and social transformation. These were his very words. Such a powerful statement. One statement, how powerful that statement was. So, the world recognizes the strength, the divinity of Swami first and foremost. It recognizes the strength of what the Sai organization teaches everyone. It recognizes the strength of the seva that the Sai organization does. Show me one other organization which has lakhs of volunteers who have boots on the ground. Nowhere in the world you can find such an organization. So in summary, I will close as follows. All of you, always, I call it the 3 C's, which is basically clarity. Always have a strong sense of purpose. Be very clear in what you want to do, and that purpose could change at different points in your life. There's a point in your life when you may say that all I want to be is a good parent. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's be very clear about it. There's a time when you may say that I want to do very well in my career. Nothing wrong with that too. There are times you may have both of it but you should be very clear, have absolute clarity of thought. Be consistent. That's the second C. When I say consistent, when I look at a person, I should be able to predict that this person will follow a certain process, which is, embedded with human values, is full of, will follow the human value path, the right path. And the third C is courage, which is, I know that this person will be decisive when decisiveness is required, will not hesitate to take unpopular decisions if it is in the right interest of organization, nation. And with these words, I will close. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm happy to take any questions. Jai Sairam.
Sairam, sir. Thank you for sharing your inspiring journey along with those beautiful photographs with us. With your permission, we would like to proceed to the question and answer session.
Sure.
I request all the participants to kindly raise your hand if you have any question. We will call out your name, after which you may unmute yourself and ask your question. You may also share your question in the chat box. Please keep your question brief and concise. मेरी सभी पार्टिसिपेंट से ये निवेदन है कि जिन्हें प्रश्न पूछना है कृपया अपना हैंड रेस करें. हम आपका नाम बुलाएंगे, उसके बाद आप अनम्यूट करके अपना प्रश्न पूछ सकते हैं. I request brother Dinesh Kumar to unmute and ask his question. Please.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, please.
Sir, my question is like in this busy world and in the corporate world, so many of us face the situation like see, we do many good works, but unfortunately not by wantedly. Sometimes we do one small mistake, but the problem is like the other person will take that the wrong thing what we have done, and he leave about the 100 good things what we have did. So only one bad thing or bad mistake whatever we did, so they will just focus on that, but whatever the good we did, that will they forget. So in this case, how to deal this situation as an Swami devotee? Should we take it personally or how to do?
See, I will answer the question in two parts. The first, which is a more generic answer, is that it's not only this situation, but other situations too. First and foremost, you should be clear that you've done the best. And I think that is extremely important. And that you've been true to yourself, you've been true to the organization. Yes, I know practically sometimes mistakes do happen. It is important that you first and foremost you admit the mistake. For example, I tell a lot of our people saying that make a mistake, I will back you up, but learn from the mistake. If you don't learn from the mistake, then it's a different issue altogether. And it's important to have a frank conversation with your superior and highlight that if you're convinced that what you did was wrong, have a conversation on it. And I can tell you that yes, there are these extreme situations where even one mistake is not tolerated, but most of the times an honest mistake is accepted, and the issue is, and people do move on.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
We
sir.
have
Thank
a
you, sir.
question in the chat by by brother Kalyan. Sairam sir, what is the one thing that we should do to impress Swami?
What is the one thing that you should do to impress Swami?
Yes.
Follow all his teachings. Very simple. And live life the way he wants you to. I think Swami is actually, today, for example, if you look at it, Swami has given very simple teachings for every aspect of life. Whether it is what you do from a spiritual perspective, Swami has said, participate in bhajans, participate in namasmaran. If you look at, he has said, participate in seva. Take every opportunity to do Swami's work. I know that, sometimes it may come at an inopportune time from, you may have several other competing priorities, but see how you can make it happen. And also, most importantly, follow the values that he has very clearly prescribed.
Thank you, sir. We have another question in the chat. If anyone wants to know what is the Sai organization, how can we describe it that they can understand?
Sai organization, in my opinion, is it is founded on the principles of love all, serve all. It is for all people. In fact, if you look at the World Conference which was held in November last year, very clearly it was mentioned that the organization is open to everybody, but the focus is on spirituality. It's a spiritual organization. It is not a religious organization. It's very important to remember that. It's a spiritual organization which focuses on Manava Seva as Madhava Seva.
Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to request Sister Divya Manikyala to unmute and ask a question.
when someone makes us feel like important through words, but their action hurt us. Like, how do I stay connected to my inner truth and like not carried out everything? Like,
See, I think I briefly alluded to it during my talk that it's very important that one strips yourself of ego, whatever you do. And when you say that somebody makes you feel important, somewhere that ego is coming in, right? Yes, we have to recognize that we are all but instruments of Swami, and also we are, it's we should not allow praise nor pain. Somebody can put you down very easily, like you just mentioned. Neither should affect you as long as you know that you're doing the right thing.
Now I request Sister Ananta Lakshmi KR to unmute and ask her question.
Sairam, sir.
Sairam.
Sir, my question is sometimes in our workplace, we tend to be right in certain situations, but yet our superiors and our workmates try to budge us or like try to cover what we are speaking and they take the credit. So at that time, we tend to also speak on behalf of myself that I am right. So is this my ego speaking or my self-respect? So I just wanted to know the line of difference between self-respect and ego.
I will put it this way that I'm trying to be practical here, that it's important that you stand up for yourself when you need to stand up. And but there's a difference between standing up for yourself and taking credit for a task. There's a subtle difference between or taking credit for a result when a team has done it. And so personally, I encourage, when good things happen, I encourage people to say we. And when the result is not great, I encourage people to say I. But at early stages of your career, especially, it is important to, if you think that what you have done is being unfairly suppressed, you should stand up.
Now I request Sister Narayanam Krishna Prasad Meghna. Sairam, Sister Meghna.
Sairam, sir. Firstly, thanks for this wonderful session, and knowing that we are in this session who has very close association with Swami, feeling very great. At times, my question is, sir, at times in our lives, during like in personal or in career, we will be having multiple choices. Consider like for example, having a multiple opportunities. How do we know what Swami has decided as how to choose or in
When you're looking at multiple opportunities, are you looking at multiple career options or
career options, for example?
See, I would say that it's important, like I said, look at it's very important that you do your research very well on let's say it's on the organization, or if you're looking at becoming an entrepreneur or doing a startup or something like that, the required degree, no due diligence is too much. It's important that you do your homework extremely well. That's one. The second is also look at if for example your opportunities are across sectors, right? It's also important, and this especially in this day of AI and technology, that does that industry have a future? It is and Sometimes the answer may not be very clear, but sometimes the answer, could be a little clearer. And so that's the second. The third is obviously pray to Swami to guide you to take the right decision, and that's very important. And a combination of all this, sometimes you have to go with your gut, but I would say that the going with your gut should be not more than 10 to 20% of that decision. The rest of it should be thorough investigation, deep dive analysis, looking at and look at also, it's not just a question of career. Look at also where you are in your personal life in terms of what are your upcoming commitments, whether it's financial, whether it's time commitments. I think it has to, all of that also has play a very important role, and then take a considered decision. And that becomes important. For example, I could take an example and say that, let's say you have aged parents whom you're responsible for, and you get a great opportunity outside this city that you're living in, right? There's nothing wrong in saying that because I'm responsible for my parents, their age, they're not well, I'm therefore not taking this opportunity, and I will take something else in the same city, even though the compensation is less, or it's in terms of because that's where I talk about clarity of purpose, and that clarity of purpose changes at different points in time, and it's that define that very, very, very clearly.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Now I request Brother Ambar Sachdeva from Delhi to unmute and ask his question. Sairam, brother.
Sairam sir. Sairam sir, my question is regarding the ethics. अब जैसे अभी आपने बताया that not more than 20%, but sometimes we have to go beyond 20% also to an extent. How we can cope up with that also?
No, I said 20% is gut feel.
Gut feel, but sometimes we have to go beyond the gut feel, and whereby gut is more important than the thinking.
See, I'll put it this way, that sometimes I've seen this with a few people, that what you call gut feel is actually your emotions playing out. And it's very important that you don't let your emotions play out. I can have a gut feel without emotion. Okay, I may be, let's say that at this point in time, I may definitely want to do a startup for very good reasons. I'm just taking that as an example, right? But there may be a time when emotionally, like I want to do a startup, or I'm fed up with my boss, and therefore I want to do a branch out on my own. See, that I don't think is the right way to take that decision. And therefore, that is why I say that gut feel without emotion could be more. I agree with you. Could be more than 20%, but it better not be gut feel because of emotion.
Thank you, brother. Now I request Sister Dhanya from Karnataka South to ask a question.
Sairam sir, I have two questions, one regarding perfection and the second one regarding consistency. So I work as a product designer, and when it comes to perfection, I stress over the details a lot. So something I find about myself is when I look too much into details and everything, the timeline of me delivering something extends a lot, and but the turnaround is good, but still the time things perfect. So I find a little difficulty there. And one more thing is, when it comes to collaboration, in terms of perfection, my kind of perfect and the other person's kind of perfect is a little different. So how do we reach like a common meeting point in such cases? And the second one regarding consistency is that so every day I'm trying I can be persistent when I have a goal or something, but when it comes to consistency, for the sake of doing something, now on one day my quality of focus is very high, so I'm able to focus a lot. But on the other day, my quality of focus is very low, but still I just push myself to do something. So trying to be persistent is easy, but consistency is really demanding and hard. So how do I push myself to that extent as well, sir?
Okay, good question. So I'll take the first one. We all have this challenge that sometimes the perfection makes you bust timelines. You don't meet timelines because of perfection. So there are two ways of looking at it. I mean, one is how critical is that extra 2-3% to the quality of the outcome. In terms of quality of the outcome, quality of is it going to materially change a decision which is going to be taken based on the output of your work, right? I think it's very important to see that, and if it is going to change, then one has to, I will say, burn the midnight oil at times, because I can't say anything else, and make sure that you. But if a certain, if your analysis, if your work is pointing towards a certain direction, and the last 2-3% is not going to materially change the decision which is going to be taken, then it's you could at times be less than perfect, but I think that it should be outcome focused and not input focused. The second, or related to that, the 1B, if I call of that question, is that what is it if my teammate and I have differing standards of perfection? I think it comes back to the same issue. I think it's a question of, if the decision, the impact on the decision is going to be material, you have to take that extra effort to convince your teammate and say that it is important to the quality of the decision, or whether the right decision is being taken. The second question which you mentioned is consistency. Yes, all of us have good days and all of us have bad days in terms of quality of focus. I think it's important that on a day when your quality of focus is low, it is that you sort of, I would say, almost reboot, in terms of take a few minutes off. That's when, in fact, I would sometimes, in fact, I take 5 minutes, put on my headphones, listen to a bhajan, and then get back to work. It's very important that, like we said, that we are not doing something important when at less than full focus.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Sairam, sir. We'd like to take one question from chat. The question is asked by brother Parav Sharma. Sairam, sir, I am lawyer by profession, and in my work, I constantly to avoid outright lying, yet often rely on interpretation, framing, and selective emphasis of fact as my professional duty. For me, this does not feel like lying in a strict sense, but I increasingly feel that these practices sometimes create a distance between my professional role and my spiritual value. And I worry that I'm compromising my inner honesty and integrity. What should I do to reconcile my responsibility as an advocate with my spiritual commitment to truth and righteousness?
So if I understand the question right, it is that it's a question of selective interpretation of fact to perpetuate a certain argument, correct?
Yes.
See, being a lawyer, And the question is that when you say selective interpretation, there are two sides to that to a coin, right? I mean, I think it's I would still point out that if your interpretation is completely off or completely false, it is something that I wouldn't go down that path, because equally, even if you interpret it in a completely false way, I think let's recognize that you could very well be called out by the opposing lawyer also, in terms of pointing out of the fallacy of your argument. And it is, I mean, it is a difficult situation to be in, when, especially as they call it, when there are shades of gray. It's not black or white, and it's shades of gray. And it the I mean, you can be, what I've seen in most cases is that the when there is a law, where lawyers are involved, you can be, most cases, both shades of gray get called out. And then it's a question of ultimately looking at which it's also, I suppose sometimes the judge's decision is final, but it may not always be right. But but going to your point, it is, I would, at this point, I would say that yes, there sometimes can be conflict with your spiritual self, but definitely don't take a completely false interpretation.
Sure, sir. Now, we will take one last question from Sister Rishika S. Matrugai.
Sir, my question is about work-life balance and the discussion that are going on. Like in our previous generation, if we see, the people usually work more than 9 to 10 hours, but today the discussion is about 5 to 6 hours and not beyond that. And sometimes, is it good to work even after you're in office, when sometimes it's like demanding, and then sometimes you think, okay, why should I work for extra profits of the company or like that? Or if you're working in an internship that's an unpaid, should you give your best or shouldn't you? Can you please clarify on this, and can you please tell more on work life balance, and how should it not clash with our professional development as well?
Okay, so I'll go back to my first statement on clarity of purpose, right? So you first define what is work and what is life, and what is the relative importance of both. But having said that, see, I don't think it's a question of saying, should I work 6 hours or should I work 8 hours? It's a question of, you have to be true to yourself at the end of the day. See, I always point out that at the end of the day, when I'm going to bed, you should be able to look yourself in the mirror and say that, yes, I gave my best today on this particular task. It's not about whether you're paid, you're unpaid, it is none of that actually, in my opinion, apply. If I take the responsibility and accountability to do something, I should do my best. I like to keep it simple. It's and again, I will also come back to Swami's teachings here, that Swami always told us to work hard, and work hard, and at the same time he also told us to yes, be perfect in every aspect of our life, in sense that he asked us to be good at work, he asked us to be good parents, good organization volunteers. And so one should look at striving and achieving that balance without worrying about the time element here. The only aspect where time becomes critical is that never waste time, never procrastinate, in terms of because a second lost is a second lost forever. So whatever you're doing, don't never waste time, never be idle, never it's pick up some do something productive 24 hours of the day. Or if you say that at this point in time I'm tired, I need to rest, fix that and rest. But it should be a considered decision. Don't idle away the time.
We will take our last question. Sairam brother, Shivam, you may please ask your question.
Thank you, brother. Sairam sir, it's a privilege to be in the same call with you. Sir, my question was like, I think some of my brothers and sisters, they already asked on a similar note. So yeah, like, so our higher management, like, let's say it is like on the opposite, it is following the opposite path of the Sai way. Let's say like they are very egoistic, uncaring, and we have a lot of office politics, micromanagement going on. And at the same time, you also have a team under you, and like you are trying to follow the Sai way as much as possible. And you try to be supportive and encouraging, empathetic. But if they try to misuse that, for example, one incident happened with me wherein one of my colleagues, like she actually she had already applied for a sick leave in advance. I could see that in the system. And next day when the time came, so she gave me a half an hour or maybe long story which was all made up. I was just listening to her because I already knew that it was all fake. But so in these kind of scenarios, how should we act? Like, because if I act against her, if I highlight this to the higher management, like they can even take disciplinary action against them and these kind of things. So
let me ask you a question, saying how did you know about it in the first place?
Because we have a system where people put the leaves. So she had already put that in advance.
Yeah. She reports to you or?
Yes.
No, if she reports you, then you should have confronted her directly about it, no?
Yeah, I told her. I told that. And I did not communicate this to higher management. I just kept it with myself. But yeah, it was.
No, I'm saying that did you sanction the leave or you didn't sanction the leave?
She already took the leave, like, and I just told her that okay, you just speak to the HR. Though I had not communicated to anyone about it, but I just like I'm very calm and but yeah, at that time I just told her that okay, don't yeah, just speak to the HR. Like you'll get a call from the HR, and then she, after some time, she then joined the office back and did some work.
That is, she didn't take the leave.
Yeah, like there were some instances like where she used to take a lot of leaves, but she did not put it in the system, so there were a lot of ambiguity.
No, I think if she reports to you, you should first time you should confront her and tell her that listen, this is the last opportunity I'm giving you. Next time this happens, I'm going to take this up seriously, straight. Otherwise, you're not being fair to the others who are very correct at their work, everything.
We'd like to cut short this Q&A. I'm very sure we will open our WhatsApp group, and we will compile your unanswered question from the chat and share with sir, and we will request sir to share his responses on those questions. We will share those answers with you. Thank you for your time. Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to request Professor Yogendra Verma, member of Board of Studies for this program with Sri Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learnings, and also serving as a state president of Himachal Pradesh, to share his thought. Over to you, sir.
Om Sri Sairam. My pranams at the lotus feet of Bhagavan Baba, and my love to all of you. After listening to Narayan Sethuramon, now I think nothing is left. The questions which are coming, I can look at these question as the vagaries of mind. And why confusion, why ambiguity, why doubts or storms going on in the mind? The basic reason is that what he has replied in the beginning itself. Spirituality is the foundation. Somewhere we are weak there. And that is why this program. Look at a person who is managing such a huge empire, enterprise, such a humble, cool, available for you for this type of interaction. And we, with the little jobs, we feel so much stressed. Why it is so happening? See, from the very beginning, the way he built up the whole case, really, I didn't have any comments to say. Only one thing, that living in the divinity, and we are really privileged, feel privileged, and I am feeling that when Bhagwan is telling a person that you are my son, so now how we can get this merit of being called as son of Bhagwan? And one question was very rightly asked, how we can win the grace of Bhagwan? And the answer was equally very well articulated. That was okay. Follow the master. Satya Sai Baba and spirituality as such is very simple. So simple. Now the incidents which he shared with you, what beautiful incidents. Bhagwan is giving message in every small act. His life, as you now going through these lectures, my life is my life message, his teachings, his projects, and how could he manage such big projects? And when he was said that, Swami, it's a great management. Swami said, no, this is leadership. So the foundation here is the spirituality. That realize that you have the source of energy within you are divine, as Swami used to say. Confusion arises, at least I see in my life when I'm not truthful. Outside, I want to do certain things which are acceptable in the society. But inside, I have a conflict that what I am doing is wrong. Now, here you have to be strong. Your confidence will come when you follow the truth. You follow what Bhagwan says. So, well, I think this session has been very enlightening. And one beautiful thing which I think you should remember, when you are choosing your profession, you have a choice. Don't go for every job, get, which gives you more money, gives you more package. No, that's the general thinking. But Narayan sir told, choose for ethical organization. Choose for a good company, that is our choice. I was talking to one doctor here in a super specialty. He's serving, maybe he's getting 1 lakh or 1,20,000 and driving a small car and must be second hand. You could have gone to any hospital, private hospital, drawing 10 lakhs or 15 lakhs per month. But here is a choice. Similarly, as entrepreneur, you should also look for people with character that we said. So this is the opportunity. Please learn from such great people. Not only great, but good people. Swami used to say, it is easy to become great. But definitely it requires your faith, your efforts, and beautiful 3 C's, remember. Clarity. What do you want in life? All confusions are because of clarity. And sometimes I say, I'm right, I'm perfect, but others are not perfect. Please थोड़ा सा उसको चेंज करिए, उस एटीट्यूड को थोड़ा सा दूसरे के एंगल से भी सोचिए। हो सकता है कुछ जो मैं कह रहा हूं उसमें 100% परफेक्शन ना हो, मे बी 90%, but there is a scope for improvement for 10%. And then you should have that courage, moral courage not for taking a curd, but sticking to your guns. And many times I have seen that people with character, leaving the organizations and saying, okay, goodbye, thank you. I want peace of mind. I want something where I can contribute, as very rightly he has guided you. That, Satya Sai Seva organization is one such pious organization where you can, if now you are in. Many of your questions, many of your confusions will be solved, and Swami is always with you. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and thank you the whole organizing team. The way you are managing that itself shows, I think there should be a lesson to all the participants, that how the things are done, where there is a faith in Bhagwan and values in action. Let's go ahead. God bless you. Thank you very much, sir, for such enlightening interaction. And we hope to have such more interactions with you in future. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Gopi. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, I would like to request Brother Shravan PVSR, convener and member of Board of Studies for this program with Sri Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, to share a few words with us.
Sairam, Sairam sir, thank you so much for your time today to spend such a Sunday with all of us and the 300 odd participants of the Sri Satya Sai Leadership Through Self-Transformation. I would say today's was a complete package of Swami's Bhagavatam with his favorite devotee, and the second part of the call was more of how to be a leader whom Swami loves. I took it as a Bhagavad Gita from Swami behind you. So this is a very, very fortunate and extraordinary connection that we are having as participants and the organizing team members today, because having a direct interaction with such a corporate giant is very, very rare. So it is a great privilege to have you today, sir. And we wish, as Verma sir has said, we wish we will have more such interactions with you. I would also take this opportunity to inform you that from this year 2026 onwards, the curriculum of this program is completely based on Dr. Chibbar's Mahavakya on leadership. So it just when I heard that book's name from you, it felt like Swami's blessing the program and the participants. Thank you so much, sir, for your time.
Thank you very much, Priya. Okay. Sir, all your experience shared by you today, all the stories, has reminded us that in today's world, graduates with character, we need graduates with character, not just sorry. In today's world, we graduates with characters, not just qualifications are needed. Dear sisters and brothers, Swami has blessed each and everyone with this platform of Sri Satya Sai Leadership of Self-Transformation, which give us exactly that opportunity, not just to acquire another qualification, but to develop character that benefits us to be called as his loving children. And as Sir said, it's a very right time for us to be his instrument, that our life should be his message. I would also like to extend my sincere thanks on the behalf of Nimish Uncle, All India President, and Dr. Gopi Krishna Pidadala, National Education Coordinator. I would like to extend Swami for this beautiful session. I would extend my thanks and regards to our beloved Bhagwan for this beautiful and enticing session. I would also like to thank convener, elders of this program, and entire team who has worked tirelessly behind the scene to make this session possible. And most importantly, thank you to all the participants for your presence and engagement. As we are celebrating the spirit of togetherness and devotion, we would like to wish you all a very happy Navaratri, Eid, and Holy Ram Navami. May Eid bring peace, gratitude, and unity into our life, and may the auspicious occasion of Ram Navami inspire us to walk the path of righteousness, truth, and compassion. With this, we will now conclude today's session with Shanti. Jai Sairam.
समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति शांति शांति। जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय।